Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Uli and welcome if this is your first video, and apologies for those of you if this isn't your first video and it's taken me so long to make this video. So this is my final video of a 5-part mini-series that I've made just as a little intro to the steps that I am taking and the 5 phases that I'm following in order to heal my skin of eczema naturally. So that's without steroids, without creams, ointments, anything from the doctor, and just completely through living a healthy lifestyle. So this final video, the reason I put it off for quite a while is because it's quite a big topic, and it is about the psychological and emotional well-being and how you should look after yourself on those levels, because this is going to be an extremely important part of your recovery process. And like I said, the reason it took me so long to make it was because I've been kind of going through a bit of a stressful time myself, a little bit of a transition period. So I've just moved house. So if you can see from the background, I am no longer in my bedroom in my parents' house. I am now a fully fledged adult living in my own apartment. Yeah, so like I said, this topic is going to be an extremely broad topic. In this video, I'm going to keep it quite high level, structured, quite concise, rather than delving into all the different areas because it could take hours. So what I've done is I have split this topic into sort of 3 main areas that I think are quite important to address in terms of keeping yourself psychologically and emotionally in a positive state of being. There are active things that you can do to make sure that you maintain a good frame of mind. So let's get on to the 3 main buckets that you should look into in your own life. So the first one, biggest one, is stress. 100% stress. I don't know what it does. It produces some kind of adrenaline, some kind of chemical in your body. And I think most of the people who are watching this probably don't even need me to tell you this. If you've got eczema, then you know that when you get stressed, your eczema will probably flare up just as much as I did. Like, it can take me, if I have a stressful day, for example, and I'm stressing that day, if the next day normally I can wake up and my eczema will be either much worse or I'll have a completely new flare up. And I'm sure, and this is something that I think everyone experiences. If you don't, then you're lucky, but I think most people do. So you need to think of ways to manage stress. When I say manage, I used to get a little bit annoyed when people would always say, oh, you know, just completely avoid stresses in your life. And I think I watched some videos where they told you, oh, if you have a stressful job, then quit. And it's like, well, I can't, that's not really an option for me. So let's just accept the fact that we have stressful lives. I have a very stressful life. I live in London. It's just a stressful environment. I'm always late. I'm always rushing around. Everyone is always busy. It's, you know, you go outside on the street and, you know, sometimes even people kind of stress you out, and it's just life, that's how it is, and just accept it. But what you can do, I think, in your life, if you just accept that you have sort of there are certain areas in your life that are a bit stressful, then what I've done, and which I think has really helped me, is I have created environments in my life that are not stressful. So for example, I've just moved into this flat. So in our flat, we decided that we wanted to make it a very calming environment to be in, sort of almost like a little sanctuary from the outside world. And the way we've done that is we've kept it purposefully not cluttered. We've got lots of plants in. I don't know if you can see a little lovely bouquet of flowers that we have. Our bedroom is very, you know, clean and white, and just, it's a very calming environment. And every time I come back from work, every time I come back from a long day and I come into this flat, I immediately feel that sort of sense of calm. So that's tip number 1 in terms of managing your stress, is having some calming environments or some kind of sanctuaries in your life. The second one is managing your schedule. Like I just said, I have a full day. I work full time. I live in a city, and this is all great. It's really fun, but it does just mean that you're constantly rushing around. So what you almost have to do is you have to look at your schedule, and you have to sense if you've had a few days, a few stressful days, a few busy days, clearing your diaries to have some active de-stressing. That sounds that doesn't sound very relaxing. Just to clear your diary so you have some calm time, some peace time, and fit that into your schedule. Make sure that you have some time, even if it is at the end of the working week. Just make sure you have at least a couple of hours that you can look forward to. So this leads me on to de-stressing activity. So there's things that you can do either day to day, sort of little small activities. I know lots of people do things like mindfulness every day, gratefulness is a really good thing to do. Or there's things that you can sort of larger activities that you can sort of do during your scheduled de-stressing times in your week. So for example, we've mentioned mindfulness and meditation. That is something that you can do every day. So my favorite thing that I have recently started doing is something called sound baths and gong baths. I won't go into details here, but it's basically when you lie in a room and they play all sorts of funky sounds around you, and it's just really nice and relaxing, and I'm someone who really likes music and that kind of thing, so it really works for me. But that's just one example. You can do other things, like I know my friend, she loves doing yoga. She does yoga a lot. There's lots of different ways. Just try and almost get to know yourself a little bit. What calms you? If it's just sitting around, chilling out, listening to music, reading a book, watching a film, going for a walk, something like that. All these different things are just sort of de-stressing activities and very good for you, and just make sure that you kind of figure out what works for you and make sure that you make time for these things as well, because they should be enjoyable, they shouldn't be a chore, they should be things that you look forward to. So my second main thing in terms of psychological emotional well-being is to do with the people in your life, your support system, and the relationships around you. I think when you're going through recovery, it's very important to surround yourself with people who are positive, who don't make you feel bad. Some people I know will actively make you feel bad because of your skin problems. I certainly encountered people like this a lot. It's not their fault. It's often people who don't have it themselves and they don't really know how to react, but it'll be people who sort of point things out and they say, oh, this looks like this, or why have you got this on your face? Or during my worst times, I would just avoid those people. Not in kind of like, I don't ever want to see them ever again, but just at this point, I needed to be a bit selfish and needed to be around people who just sort of made me feel good about myself. It's a bit harder if it's a family member, but if it is a family member, again, I think the best way to deal with it is just to sort of ask them not to point it out and just say to them that it doesn't make you feel good. Just explain to them that it's, they don't need to point it out. You know that you have it, you know that you have eczema, you don't need to constantly be reminded of it. Not just avoiding the people who don't make you feel good, but just actively spending lots of time with the people who do make you feel good, rather than spending lots of time alone. And especially when you have really bad skin, the reaction or the instinct is to withdraw and to sort of isolate yourself. Really, really try not to do that, even if it means just calling your friends, speaking to them on the phone, having them over if you don't want to step outside. There were a few times that I kind of felt didn't really feel comfortable enough to go outside. Have them over and have them just be around people who make you feel good, because this will really help you, and it'll also help you make you feel less alone. And thirdly, you can also reach out to people going through similar experiences. I have found that YouTube really helps. I know you're not necessarily talking to somebody day to day, but it does kind of give you that sense that you're not alone and you're not struggling through this alone, and things do get better, and other people have been through the same thing, and other people have probably been through worse than what you have, and if they've recovered, then you can do it too. You will absolutely recover, so that's never even going to be a question in your mind. Like, you'll be fine. But like I said, just try not to spend too much time alone. Try not to spend too much time with people who don't make you feel good. Just try and avoid those kind of people, and fill your life with lots of warm, supportive, compassionate relationships. Humans are tribal species. We like to be around people, we like connecting with people, so this is extremely, extremely important for your emotional well-being. Now, the third thing is self-love. Oh my god, I really hate that phrase. It sounds so corny, but okay, but it is true. Like, it is self-love, and when I say self-love, I mean being very aware of the dialogue that you have with yourself. I found that when I had really bad skin, I'd look in the mirror and all I do is focus on all the bad bits. Oh, look at that bit of skin, look at that crack bleeding bit here, look at all this flaky horribleness here. That isn't going to help you at all. Imagine that you are a friend of yours, and not you, but a friend of yours, and if a friend came to you with eczema or some kind of other skin problem or other kind of chronic illness generally, you wouldn't say to them, oh, like, your face looks disgusting, look at all this dryness here, look at all this like redness here. You wouldn't do that. You say, oh, like, you can't even really see it, it doesn't even look that bad, people don't even notice it. And I'll tell you what, it is true. Like, a lot of what you see will be blown up. And ultimately, when you look in the mirror, I find this is such a good way to think of it. When you look in the mirror, you just see a static version of yourself, almost like a photo. When people talk to you, they see your energy, and they see your soul and your spirit, and they see who you are as a person and your personality, not just the static image that you have of yourself when you're looking in a mirror. Just remember that. Look at yourself and praise yourself and think of all the good things that you've got going on in your life. Yes, you have a little bit of eczema, and yes, it's incredibly uncomfortable, and yes, it doesn't make you feel good, but you know what? Like we said, it's not the be all and end all. It's not you. You've got to look at you for you and all the great things that you have aside from this sort of minor blip. So that was kind of all I wanted to say on this topic for now. So that's going to be the final part of my little mini video series. I hope you've enjoyed these. If there's any topic that you want me to go into more detail of, just please leave a comment down below. I'm now going to be doing, well, my aim is to sort of make a lot more videos in terms of just showing you day to day how I actually practically sort of live my life and do all these things, and probably address these topics sort of in more detail as we go along. But so we'll see how that goes. And yeah, like I said, so I really hope you enjoyed this. I hope this was helpful. I hope you guys are all okay. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Please subscribe, and I will check back in with you guys very soon. Okay, bye bye.